All right, so trying this again now. Welcome to Bored and Annoyed with Movies. It is the show where weekly we review a random movie selected by either one of our guests on the panel here or someone from the audience. So we're live streaming on Bored and Annoyed's YouTube right now, and also on Downright Nerdy's Facebook, and those will swap every week. That's kind of the idea. So make sure you're subscribed to both of our YouTube channels, both of our Facebook channels, to make sure that you never miss an episode. So this week it is the three of us here. It's Michael from, and I'm mirrored. Michael from Downright Nerdy. We have Paul. Down is always the same. Paul from Comic Book Invest, and this week we are reviewing Heavy Metal, thanks to Solo Wookie. So I guess
Solo Wookie.
Yeah, so let's go around and do introductions. Michael, if you want to start.
Sure. Yeah, I'm the blurry guy. Apparently, I'm still blurred. For some reason, my webcam is being weird. I apologize for that. But yes, I am one of the hosts of the Downright Nerdy podcast alongside my assistant host, Riley. She's not here right now. But we do a weekly podcast on all your favorite podcasting apps. We talk about nerd stuff, comic books, movies, TV, all the fun stuff, and about our day-to-day life too. So yeah, go check us out, downrightnerdy.com, and on Instagram at Downright Nerdy Podcast.
Thank you, Michael. And Paul?
All right. Hey, my name's Paul from coupleofdudes.com for all your comic book speculation needs. And our podcast, Tales from the Flip Side, is live Monday nights on 9:30, at 9:30. Streams live on YouTube and our Facebook CBSI community page. Talking comics, stuff you can buy for money to flip that you might not think to look for at Comic Cons, flea markets, and things like that. And also, we just shoot the breeze. So join us if you can. Appreciate it.
Sweet. So obviously, as you can see, and as we mentioned, the movie was Heavy Metal this week. I know this movie is beloved, but I will hold off on my thoughts on it until I've kind of, gotten an idea from you, Paul. Did you enjoy the movie? And I know we've already done this once, but we're going to do it again.
Good. I erased everything from my mind that happened a few moments ago. It was good. I watched it today. I have never seen it before. I probably knew it existed, but I enjoyed it. Towards the end, I was kind of waiting for it to end, but I finished it, learned my lesson, and I was resisting the temptation to see how much of the movie was left. But overall, I thought it was good. I might watch it again sometime down the road.
Are you going to watch Heavy Metal 2000?
I was just going to say, yeah, there is a
sequel.
Now
I know there's a sequel. This is breaking news to my brain.
Now the sequel is it's not the same format. It's one story apparently, and from what I understand, it's not good. But yeah, and then the other thing too is that Netflix, that Love, Death, and Robots show that's on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
Yeah, love it.
But that originally was a Heavy Metal remake that they rebranded as Love, Death, and Robots. Yes. So a little trivia for you. But Mike, what'd you think of the movie?
So I felt myself towards the end feeling the same way about Paul. So the movie is split into several different stories, right? With that involving that green orb. And the last one, I felt like it dragged along a little too long. But I think overall, I mean, for being what it was in 1980s, essentially an Adult Swim show before Adult Swim, like we were talking about earlier, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the movie at all. I kind of liked it. I didn't think I was going to like. I thought it was going to be the hardest hour and a half I was going to have to watch, but it was so absolutely ridiculous that I liked it.
Yeah, and Pinky's Out liked the 2000 movie, so maybe we do need to watch it. Pinky, stick around at the end if you get to choose the movie. I mean, you could saddle us with Heavy Metal 2000, but yeah, just to give a brief synopsis, I don't think I've done it on this version of the stream yet. Based on the popular magazine of the same name, the animated cult film interweaves 6 visionary stories of science fiction and fantasy. Soundtrack includes such rock stars as Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, Cheap Trick, Devo, Donald Fagen, Grand Funk Railroad, Sammy Hagar, Journey, Nazareth, and Stevie Nicks. And the critics' consensus at 60%. It's just fresh. It's sexist, juvenile, and dated, but heavy metal makes up for its flaws with eye-popping animation and a classic, smartly used soundtrack. So,
Wait. Hold
sure.
It's sexist?
What's that? Yeah, it's very sexist. Yes, I enjoyed the movie, but the problem with all of these kind of, and I forget what they're called. The creep show type, Tales from the Crypt type deal, where it's like there's one overarching story and then there's a bunch of little mini stories, and it's really about those mini stories, right? And I found some of those better than others, which is always kind of the issue with something like this, right? Because you kind of drone out during the one or two that you don't like, but for the most part, it's a fun movie. Now, it is the perfect example of like an adult cartoon that completely isn't going for adults. It's totally like the 14 and 15-year-olds that would find this, amazing, right? But
curious, which stories were your favorites?
So I like the cab driver at the beginning.
Yep.
I like that one. I like the John Candy as the little nerdy kid when he goes up and he's like, he turns into this big badass, and the queen's just like, oh, come pleasure me. It's just fucking hilarious. But yeah, by the end, I was a little out of it. Now, I do like the imagery of it. Actually kind of reminded me of like 1980s Transformers cartoon, the way it's animated at the end when she's going into the city on like the big flying dragon thing with her sword and she's fighting everybody. It totally reminded me of that, actually. But yes, it's like a flying chicken. Yeah. But it is a trip of a movie. It's funny, the cast too. I know John Candy plays a few characters in here. Eugene Levy actually played Captain Lincoln Stern, who's the guy on the spaceship who's being like tried for rape and murder and whatever. And it's just so fucking goofy. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I really did. Now, which one was your guys' favorite of the stories? Michael, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I'll so yeah, the cab driver was my all-time was the best one for me. I actually wish I could have, that was stretched out just a little bit longer. Towards at that very last one, Paul, when she was flying and when she was like putting on the black latex with the red things, and then she started flying to the city, man, she was flying for like a good 10 minutes, man. She just would not land. Like this bird was getting tired, I think.
I think you're supposed to be on acid during that part.
You have to be, right?
Yeah, this isn't, I was not chemically influenced for this viewing.
I'm wondering if Solo Wookiee was. But it's kind of funny. You said that it reminds you of Transformers. It reminded me a lot of the animated Ghostbusters show, which is funny because the and the music too, the soundtrack. So the actual director was Ivan Reitman. He was the one that directed Ghostbusters 1 and 2. It's just kind of funny because Harold Ramis is in it. He plays the one of the skinny alien that gets high off the alien pilot dude that gets high when he puts like he has like a vacuum cleaner full of like crack or something.
Yeah, I want to mention as well that part I liked with the robot that brings up the girl and he's got a boyfriend and he's talking her into leaving the boyfriend because that part I really liked. It's such a wacky movie. It's funny because you're right though, Paul and Michael. It's like for a moment you'll start to kind of like lose interest. But then it like switches storylines, and then you're like, "Oh, okay, what the hell's the deal with this one?"
Right.
Yeah,
that robot reminded me of Bender a little bit from Futurama.
It did.
But yeah, so when the very beginning of the movie, that little girl when this orb is revealed, that animation style really reminded me of the animation from Creepshow, that opening of the kid reading his comics, and it is. Anyway, that cartoon opening. But as far as the stories go, I agree. Cab Driver was good, and then I like that B-17. It was shorter, but that World War II one was pretty.
Yeah, the zombie thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. That one's probably my second favorite.
Yeah, I mean, how could you forget, Michael? It's just
I know. I mean, how dare I?
That's when the acid kicked in, Michael. He forgot.
Burned into your mind. But yeah, hey, please, pinkies out. Do not do that to us. Let's wait a little closer to the new Dune movie, at least. Let us wait a little bit, because that is just.
Oh God, they're making another one.
Yeah, man, it's Denis Villeneuve, who did like Blade Runner 2049, and the cast is like star studded too. Like everybody's in it.
It's not like going to be a cheesy like B-list remake. They're actually putting effort into this.
No, yeah, I'm super excited for it.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, it's funny though. Is Dune something that would be better if it was just made like this movie? Like, just don't take it seriously. But yeah,
I think he's gonna do it.
You mentioned the opening animation. I love that with the car.
Yeah,
like
that was cool.
That style of animation, and then like I think what's happening. Like let's try and discuss the plot of this. I think what is happening is the green orb is some sort of like all-knowing entity that has existed all throughout time. And I think things are happening. Yeah, I think things are happening simultaneously on like a different plane of time. Does that make sense?
Either a different. I think it's probably more specifically different dimensions.
Okay,
because I think it said that like towards the beginning. But were any of you guys confused as to the point of the little girl? Because he said that so is the little girl actually the woman who at the very end, the last storyline, the with the black and red,
kind of a reincarnation of the only being that can kill him.
Right. I think that's the case.
Call her? A Targaryen? No, not Targaryen.
Targaryen. Yes, she's a Targaryen.
That thing on her neck looked like a Star Wars.
It looked like a Mandalorian tattoo. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I think the idea is it's there to stop her, but I don't really understand why it doesn't just light her, like burn her, like it did with the dad right when it showed up. But I guess who cares? I think, you know what I mean.
Are we really going to try to poke holes in this movie?
I think
movie's like Swiss cheese, but I think that's the whole point, right?
I think it's not really talking to the girl, but it's talking to her reincarnated self. Like, I hate you so much, I'm going to tell you all my history of what I've done, and then I'm going to kill you.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
It's basically a very long evil villain speech.
Now, okay, another question
for monologue before they get overthrown by the protagonist.
Do you think that the individual stories are at all attached? Because there is I feel like when the cab driver kills the girl, which was hilarious, by the way, just how that ended, that was just fantastic. When he just kills her.
What did he say? Well, like, oh, it was a 2-day cab. I charge it for 2 days plus a hefty tip.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So he kills her, and then what happened to the orb at that point?
It just, I think at the end, it was on the bridge still, and it just got really big, and then it maybe faded into the next story at that point.
Right. Like, because the little kid finds it, on the bridge, so I think it felt to me like that storyline, at least, like at that point, I thought that the movie was going to like branch more logically, I guess, because I thought the kid found that and the cab driver was the last person who had it.
The kid who turns into the big guy?
Yeah, because he sold it.
He said it's a meteorite. It fell from the sky, right?
Yeah, right. He did say that.
But does he see it fall from the sky, or does he just find it and assume, right? I mean, because the last scene of the cab driver one, they sold it to those gangsters or whatever, and it just kills them all immediately. Yeah. And it just
but then it goes up. No, it goes up.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, it goes up.
Got it. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, and Michael, I love your honesty in the chat here.
Dude, and you know what? Like going down, like Pinky's Out says, "I feel you. I need some new equipment as well." This is a new webcam. This is like one of the newest ones on the market. It's supposed to be like the best one.
Never underestimate what a shitty internet night can do too.
Yeah.
What's funny is that my router is literally 2 inches away from my computer.
Yeah, well, hey,
hell, man.
We have charter internet up here. Maybe I shouldn't say anything bad about them because they'll cut my internet off at a moment's notice.
They're
but
listening.
they suck. Yeah, right. Hopefully they're one of the people in the chat right now. But I guess talking about the music, I wish this would have came out in like 85, like post Metallica thrash metal era, personally, because it would have been more fun to me that way. But there's some good music in here. And here's the interesting part. So this movie came out, it's based on, and Paul, I need to give you a little apology here. When you mentioned Heavy Metal Magazine last week, when it was selected, I looked at you like you were crazy through the camera. But it is based on a magazine, and you two are comic book guys.
I know what I know, and I know a lot of what I don't know a lot.
Who's gonna go read some heavy metal stories after this movie?
Let's see. Hold on. Let's take.
I have a couple heavy metal magazines buried.
Do you really?
Somewhere. I bought them for speculation.
It's still running, apparently.
Yeah,
crazy. It's still running. So
I don't know what it looks like on the inside.
I think it's. I was
started in 1979.
Yeah, so that is a comic book or fantasy comic book magazine that would be going. And you mentioned Dokken, Pinky's out. Nightmare on Elm Street 3 theme song is great. Dokken, love that. But yeah, I would be interested in reading some of those. I got to imagine they're kind of fun. But what do you think of like this animation style? Because nowadays, God, it's so hard to describe how animation has changed, but it has. It's like this has that older, kind of more dirty looking animation style, whereas something new it always has like really everything's filled like with a color, and it's very like SpongeBob SquarePants or something. Everything looks cleaner now, but I almost feel like that stuff all looks like it was made on a computer. Know.
This all looks like every single slide or thing was drawn. Yeah. Kind of like the old school Disney ones where they would actually like draw somebody like this, and then the next slide would be like this, and this, and then they just do the flip page thing and film it.
Yeah, it's fun to watch something that's drawn like that. I can't imagine the work that goes into it, And sorry, go ahead, Paul.
I was just going to say, it reminds me of like late night, old school MTV, like you said, Adult Swim or something that my older brother would watch, either somehow rented on VHS at the time or something. And it's his age group.
Right.
So. But I think it was, if it was re-released today, I think that it would be a cool throwback style.
Yeah. If they just did it and made it look just like this. It'd be awesome.
There definitely would have to do less boobs.
Yeah. Well, it's rated R.
That's true too.
The problem is, even if it's rated R, the issue is everybody would be up in arms because of how misogynistic it is. Because it literally is like the women are all, huge boobs. Half naked. The men go in the room and they're like, "Oh yeah, pleasure me." "Oh, can I sleep with you?" It's just hysterically funny how it is totally like a 13 or 14-year-old's fantasy. This movie.
That's exactly what it is. Hilarious. I mean, just in the very first one with the cab driver, like the kids, for some reason, this cab driver saves this woman whose father just died, and she wakes up in this guy's apartment. Is like, "Can I sleep with you?"
Yeah.
And then they just start going at it.
Yeah, like, and he starts talking about how he gave it to her. Yeah, he He says something along the lines like, "Oh yeah, I don't know, I gave it to her all night," and then
pull up Pinky's out last comment right there. That's not how it works.
Oh, yeah. There you go. But yeah, then there's the little boy too, who turns into the big, like it's us as a kid, like that character. What's interesting about that one is that character almost to me feels like who the movie is actually made for, because he even makes a comment along the lines of like, "Oh, I could never pull this in the real world." Yeah.
Well, so, even in the beginning, when he gets his new body, he says like, "Wow, look at this body. Well, I'm not going to walk around with my dinghy hanging out or something." What, like some weird?
It's my dork hanging out.
His dork, yes.
His dork. That's what he said. What did I say? Dinghy. Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah,
which I think this is so. he's like, oh, everything's big, and dork is actually a Wales Wales dork. So maybe that was a play on words. I don't know.
Probably.
So just kind of looking at the Wikipedia page for this. So we were talking about throughout time. So the girl sees how it has influenced societies throughout time and space. So whatever that means, I'm assuming that we're on different planets then.
Have to be.
Yeah.
So there's aliens and stuff too, right? So
that kind of explains what Michael was saying then too about different dimensions. And then maybe the orb has to like chase down the next reincarnation or next protector.
Oh yeah, the next Targaryen, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I totally think it's a reincarnation thing for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, have either of you seen 2000? Is this actually like is 2000 related to 81 at all? In the sense of like, is it still a green orb thing or what?
I have not seen it. All I know is that from what I understand, it is terrible. Not according to Pinky's Out. Didn't mean to offend you, sir. But it's one story. So I am interested to watch it because it's not the, serialized. We can find out real quickly, I'm sure.
Because that last story of this movie just felt like it was just going on forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, that was definitely the one that they were the most proud of. You could tell, and it kind of suffers. But let's see here. So Heavy Metal 2000.
Just gonna draw some fine broad on a big chicken for 20 minutes.
I would be interested for our future movies, if possible, to find out, unless this is how Rotten Tomatoes works, the reviews that were released shortly after the movie was originally released.
It matters. It does affect the score. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Heavy Metal 2000 is 88 minutes compared to Heavy Metal 1981, which is 90 minutes.
90.
Yep.
Yeah, because I guarantee, I mean, there's probably some reviews of 81 that were probably written within the past couple of years and that probably brought the score down a bit because of all the sexist scantily clad. Lack thereof,
Oh, definitely. I would agree with that 100%. I would imagine when this came out, it was probably quite popular. Now, it did do 20 million at the box office on a $9 million budget. So it doubled its money. So it was
this thing cost $9 million. Does not feel like $9 million.
Isn't that crazy?
It must have all gone to the actors, the voice.
The actors, and then I'm assuming. I mean, these were some big bands here too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know how that all works. Maybe they just get a royalty on.
Now, but were they all big back then?
I would imagine Journey, Black Sabbath.
Journey, I mean, yeah.
I'm assuming some of these aren't big now, and they were big back then. I mean, this Cheap Trick is in here twice.
Hey, I like that. I don't.
Sammy Hagar, but yeah, the music's fun. For the most part. Sometimes I wish they would have just cranked it for a little longer during some of the scenes. Like you hear a bit from Black Sabbath song or whatever. And I do want to mention it. I believe it was Black Sabbath when Dio was the lead singer, not Ozzy. So you didn't get to hear Ozzy in here. But yeah, overall, I'm happy that it was chosen. It gave me an excuse to watch it. Now, how ready am I to watch Heavy Metal 2000? Not very, but it did intrigue me. Now I have to go watch Love, Death, and Robots because
you haven't seen Love, Death, and Robots yet?
I haven't watched any of it.
Oh, wow.
No.
And I didn't even know it existed till tonight. But that
what?
Under a rock, but
it's like I think in Netflix, it's like little mini episodes, right? It's like
I mean, the longest one is maybe 18 minutes. The shortest is like 5.
Okay.
So, would you rather watch Heavy Metal 2000 or the sequel to National Treasure?
Sequel to National Treasure.
Heavy Metal 2000. Heavy Metal 2000 for sure. No question. That one's easy. Come on.
I thought that what's her name, Diane Kruger would have gotten it.
That's true. I am in love with Diane Kruger, but
however,
but she's got nothing. I was just going to say she's got nothing on these ladies in Heavy Metal.
Some of the animation in Heavy Metal, I mean, every time like the cab driver when he squeezed her, like you could see like they really put a lot of detail into those like indents. I'm like, man, they're going all in.
Yeah, he rolls the nipples; they get a little hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really went for it.
He flicked it too on one of them. I don't know if it was that particular story, but it was. Someone did flick.
You can just imagine the guy in the animation room. It's like, were the people that animated this the same people that animated like old 80s like cartoons? It's like, we get to draw tits this time. Like we really have to go after it.
Yeah, it almost looks like the same kind of animation of like a more of a rudimentary version of like X-Men animated series.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Funny, like that. I was watching it with Riley, and then during like the nipple flicking scene, I'm like, "Hey, come here, let me try something."
Oh, jeez.
That's where you look at her and you just go, "Hey, how come you never act like these women? You don't just come in." You know what I mean?
My 6-year-old came up during the zombie one. Thank God.
Okay. Yeah, good timing.
Yeah, I paused it at a scene. She's like, "What do you?" It was just kind of shadows and stuff. She's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, just a scary adult movie. Just go downstairs."
Well, that brings up a good point.
Like, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
There was
when you close it.
There was the thing with Deadpool a few years ago where it's like parents complaining because they brought their kids to a superhero movie and it was Deadpool. Can you imagine? Like this was a cartoon. I'm sure it was like advertised on, like adult channels. Oh, maybe you're looking through the movies to go to. Oh, it's an animated movie. Let's take the kids, and then you show up and it's this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do wonder. I wonder if any of that's if you dug up any of the original reviews or if it would be dropped in there like, definitely don't take your kids. Or
if we do get like older movies just to see what the reviews were at the time, that would be really interesting to like the initial reactions of audience goers.
They do throw dates in here on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm on there right now.
Rotten Tomatoes wasn't around in 1981.
Well,
the internet wasn't around in 81.
Yeah, but they'll pull reviews from like old, because a lot of the newspapers and shit, they have a website where it's all on there, right?
Yeah,
so they'll pull older reviews, but like you can find all the old Ebert stuff, but the oldest ones from 2000. So
Paul muted himself. He's on the hunt right now. You could tell he's working.
Hey, I've got 2 monitors tonight now because my computer's a pain in the ass. They're not connected, so I'm actually running 2 computers. But yeah. So the oldest one's from 2000. January 1st of 2000 is a fresh review. This animated movie based on the comics of the same title is fun once you accept it on its own terms, i.e. brainless and adolescent. So
what's wrong with that?
Nothing. National Treasure is brainless and adolescent too.
I think that's the point of both types of movies, right? Like this and any Nicolas Cage movies, just brainless and adolescent.
Yeah, right. I think this movie is definitely geared towards a couple of specific audiences, and if you're not in those audiences, you got to learn to take it for what it is.
Do you think? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go.
I was just going to say, does that include the 35-year-old, suburban housewives? Do they like heavy metal, or are they not included?
Yeah,
in it?
Like 35-year. I mean, like Riley's 30. I mean, she didn't mind it. She just knew that it was just she knew it was going to be weird going in after we watched the trailer. I think it just matters like how open are you to watching something completely weird and like not that you're not accustomed to. You know what I mean?
I think the only tease in the trailer to nudity was her walking towards the cabbie and about to disrobe and cut, right? Yeah, I remember at least.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah, what else do we got on heavy metal?
How about a grade?
Oh, great. Okay. Well, you start.
Oh shit.
I'll
give it a. I was happy with this. I'm going to give it a solid B.
Paul,
the only reason why it's going down like from like a B+ or an A- is that last story bugged the hell out of me. Will I see it again? I probably not for like another 5-10 years, but
I think it's one of those where if it was ever on, and that's the problem nowadays, now that we stream everything, we never have those like wonderful moments of like going through the guide and then something
like, oh shit, look at that. Yeah, let's put that
like Heavy Metal. If that was on the guide, you'd be like, all right, well, we'll watch this for a few minutes.
The only time that'll ever happen is if you're at a hotel. That's like the only time that'll ever happen.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, even that now you can sling to some of the hotel TVs from your phone. So, but yeah, sorry, Paul.
No, same. I'd B plus. It just that last story kind of drug out a little bit, but I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, I will also give this a B. I had fun with it. It's extremely stupid and juvenile, just like the critics' consensus says. But I was excited to watch it. It did not disappoint me to watch it. Like I said, a couple of the stories I would give an A because I was just laughing my ass off at the ridiculousness of it all. And a couple of them kind of dragged. So,
which is what I'm very excited to both of you need to watch Love, Death and Robots season 1 because it reminds me so much of this. It just the only thing that's different is that there's no overarching story like a green orb of some sort. You know what I mean? Right. It's just a bunch of different stories and it's really cool. Different types of animation. There's actually some live action too, and it's really, really neat.
It kind of upsets me that it's not Heavy Metal though. Now watching this,
don't let it because it's still just as good. It's still really, really good.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I want to see it.
What is that one late night old school to me? Sorry, MTV cartoon of the like assassin at the end of every time she dies. What is it?
Eon Flux. Yeah.
Yes. Damn, that's the one. That's. They didn't exactly have that type of style in here, but it was in that genre to me because that was something my older brother used to watch.
It reminds me of it for sure.
Okay.
This would have been a good like MTV show that they.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Because I mean, you got the music, you get like different bands coming in. It'd be a great way to like have bands be relevant again, because like now, like I almost kind of feel like unless you're really into that genre of music, you don't get a lot of exposure like you did with when MTV was back on before. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I know you're a big rock guy, Jackson. You go to like concerts and stuff regularly, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I do. Yes.
So, I mean, am I completely just off balance with that?
No, you're probably right.
They could almost even just do the animation and then not even worry about the music until there's a band that fit and they could just do whatever cut. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to have a band to fit the
storyline or whatever.
They could do everything with the story except music and then plug it in.
Now I've got to ask, did you guys ever see the South Park episode where Kenny gets high on cat piss?
Yes.
Because that is pulled directly from Heavy Metal. And let me just go ahead and throw this up real quick. So this is, this is just kind of a classic episode here. And basically Kenny gets high on cat piss and goes to some sort of magical land. And it ends up being this guy. This is what we get to see.
That's right. Yes, I do remember this.
Yeah, so Kenny goes all out with this cat piss world, and it is completely ripped from Heavy Metal, and it is fantastic. I actually am going to go back and rewatch that episode.
Oh, I'm going to watch it too.
Because after watching this, it should be more entertaining. But yeah, they strap the cats into these cat piss, like they hold the cats in some sort of and speaking of cats. Here's mine right here.
That's how they hold them.
Oh yeah, I'll pick them up like this. Say hi, Tyrion. But yeah, anyways, they put them in like a thing, and basically like I think Stan's dad is one of them who puts his face right in there, and the cat piss, and everybody in town gets addicted. So that was a pretty fantastic episode, and a nice little ode to Heavy Metal, I would say.
Yeah,
But
so funny. Wow.
Michael, are we ready with the...
I think we're ready. And how about this? Paul, you're wearing green. You want to be green? I'm wearing yellow. I'll be yellow.
There you go.
You got blue. You'll be blue, and then Pinky's out. If you're still here, you got red, or whoever's in the chat.
Looks like wait, is the chat the first one to come up on our screen under live comments? Is that how we decided? Because the Facebook thing?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. So we do have one person on your Facebook here too.
Cool.
Downright.
That's right.
So
I keep forgetting it's on mine. I wonder who it is.
It is on yours. So hopefully we didn't embarrass you too badly tonight on your Facebook.
I mean, I really don't. As another like avenue of social media that I need to work on is Facebook and the Twitters. I don't really do very often at all.
Hey, Dad, that family-friendly podcast is live on Facebook. Can I watch it tonight?
If they're talking about this cartoon movie. Yeah. Really wholesome. So we talked about this too. So everybody has a movie in mind in here, I'm assuming? Yeah? Okay. So we're going to give a clue. Are you ready with a clue, or do you not have one that won't give it away?
I could do a clue.
Okay. So I guess I'll start.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So mine is I would call it a dark sci-fi movie, a dark underrated science fiction movie that was America's most favorite America's most famous critics' favorite movie from the year it came out.
So it's
not going to say what year it was, but there is America's most famous movie critic ever loved this movie so much that it was his favorite movie when it came out, and it's a dark science fiction movie.
Let's see.
No, you don't guess. Don't get to guess.
Oh, I can't guess. Oh, I thought we were supposed to. Gotcha.
No guesses.
All right, no guess.
Give it up.
Paul, go ahead. I need to think of.
If I win tonight, my movie is a psychological thriller involving a well-known actor. I think before they were famous, but I'm not. It's either before they were famous or just one of those offshoot movies that they did. And I can't think of much more without revealing it. So.
Right. Yeah, I think mine was a little bit too easy personally.
I have no idea. So
right. There you go.
All that.
And Michael, what's your clue?
Real quick before I do it, thank you, Michael Morse, for joining us, man. Mike and Rocco Morning Show. Thank you guys for stopping by and checking us out. We're just about to choose our movies, who gets or what movie we get to choose, and we're just kind of giving hints right now. So let's see. Mine is it's a pre-1950s movie comedy.
Oh, geez.
Yes. One of my favorites growing up. Yes. That's a terrible hint, I know, but whatever, that's what I got.
Well, see, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to go look at your Instagram page and see if it might be one of the movies that you would have listed on the 10 movies that...
You're such a cheater. You're such a cheater. I've already beat you to it. Look at him. He's looking down right now.
No, my wife was texting me real quick.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, so we got Paul's green, Michael, you're yellow, audience is red, and I'm blue, correct?
Yes, exactly.
And hey, tell Riley she needs to be here to write everyone's name down next week.
Yeah,
really nice to see her.
She felt so bad. She called what's his name, Sean, because we were
Eric. That's why he's not here. He told me.
Yeah.
He told me that was why he didn't show up.
Yeah.
He said his feelings were so hurt. You guys don't even know my name over there. Why would we? Why would I show up?
Why would I come back?
Yeah. But yeah, let's
wheel. All right.
Spin the wheel, man.
Hey,
it's a tight screw on there.
Was that legitimate?
Do you want me to do it again? I can do it again.
I mean,
is the screw really tight? That wheel
hold on. Stopped.
There you go.
There we go. We'll call that
a proper spin.
Shit.
Red. Audience.
There it is. It's the audience.
All right. So here's the deal. So I'm going to type in a line. So hopefully someone responds to this.
So Mike Morris, if you're still here, once we cat piss it is, once Jackson puts in this writes this starting line, be ready to type in a movie and press enter, and then whichever movie comes up first in our chat, we'll get to that'll be the movie that we choose.
All right, audience, 2 weeks in a row. By the way, I'm a little pissed. I haven't gotten to pick a fucking.
Me neither. But Jackson, I think for Facebook purposes, say when you press enter, because I don't know if the YouTube, if you do a line, if it'll show up on
Facebook. Okay,
yeah, I don't think so.
All right, so I am hitting enter. So Facebook is open now to vote.
There we go.
And let's see if we both two starting.
Oh, I guess we got 2 stars. That was you. Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Oh, good.
Really?
It does show on Facebook.
Facebook. Oh, Stargate. Okay.
I watched that with my wife. That's one of her favorites.
All right.
Okay. Is that so? That's the one with what's his face?
It's got Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, yes.
It's got what's his name from The Blacklist? Oh God, why am James Spader? James Spader. I believe James Spader's character's name is Jackson. Actually, I think.
Yes, it is because I watched Stargate SG-1 growing up too.
Okay, was he a character on SG-1?
No, he had somebody else playing him, I believe. Oh no, yeah, he did. I think he did. I don't know. I can't remember now.
But we have Stargate. Wow. Okay.
I'm actually pretty excited about it.
Yeah. I always liked Stargate.
I haven't seen it in a few years, so I'm pretty excited about it. Michael Shanks. Yes. Thank you.
I will be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of want to guess your guys' movies.
I don't know if you can guess mine based on what
I don't know if I can base. Yeah. Same.
I want to keep it very vague and I'll when I finally win, I'll reveal the name, but also like how I found it and stuff like that. But I think now next week I'm 50-50 with my schedule, unfortunately. But if I can make it, is anyone opposed based on babysitting and things if my wife were to join me, because that's her basic number one?
Absolutely not. I have no objection for that. Absolutely not. I can't hear you, Jack.
Right. No girls allowed. So
yeah. Boys only, because boys rule and girls.
It might drag the show out because it is her
it's favorite movie. Really,
I cannot wait to tear it apart in front of her. Then
yes, that'd be great.
And it's Professor Daniel Jackson.
That's her favorite character too.
It's an awesome plot.
James Spader is a great actor. I love everything James Spader.
Me too.
It is a good plot.
I'm a fan of James Spader. If I remember correctly, the last time I watched this, the effects are a little dated. But oh well.
I think the effects hold up.
Okay.
Pinky's out. I'm gonna get one of those the magician's chicken, and I'm gonna bring it across the screen if I'm here before my wife.
Hiding a flying chicken.
I think she has to. I think she has to do the show with Paul's head in the same form that Kenny's head is in this clip. I think that's how the show will look next week. Paul, you have to build a chicken, and the wife's hopefully she can live up to this. I mean, this is pretty.
I'm going to have to get a PO box after this, I think.
But yes, that is the movie for next week.
Sounds good.
Does anybody have any, must get out of their mouth thoughts before we kind of wrap things up here regarding heavy metal? Would you recommend that people watch it? You all gave it a B, so I would assume that would be
I would recommend it to specific people who would like these type of movies. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I'd like I'm not gonna tell them, hey mom, you should watch this movie. It's really fun family movie. You know what I mean? It's
not like a couple's night out. Like, hey, you guys want to, Jackie and Steve, you want to come over and watch heavy metal with us tonight? And
right.
Well, it depends
on the people, but
no, it's more of a, hey dudes, you want to come over and listen to some Slayer, and then maybe we'll pop in some heavy metal, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Play some pool and
right. Yeah. Now Pinky's out. When I told you not to select Dune, you could have selected Dune. I mean, that's part of the fun of the show, right?
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Pinky's out. You guys are always welcome on the show as well. They're actually they're a great group of guys, and I honestly think that you and Jackson would get along real well.
We'll send out the link to you next week.
Tell you what, we'll add you to our group too on Instagram.
Right.
There you go.
Right. For sure. But yeah, that's it for me. If everybody wants to give their little goodbye, we'll start with Michael.
Cool. If I'm not blurry, I'm sorry about them. Sorry about that throughout the entire episode. But yeah, thanks again for having me. It'll be so this next week it will be on my channel, Downright Nerdy Podcast. So make sure you guys sub up to me over on the YouTubes, and just look out for our promotions throughout the week coming to my channel, and it'll be on Board and Annoyed's Facebook channel next week. I've been saying this all week, but we just recently released a 15-minute video of our it's a giveaway, so make sure you guys check that out if you guys want to win some comic books, slabs, and I mean I got a whole bunch of stuff. I bought 1,000 comic books that I'm going to be giving away, so just check that out, and if you guys want to win some cool stuff, it'll all be laid out there.
I watched it, Michael. I might be entering here.
Heck yeah. Cool.
When does it close up? Does it close up anytime soon, or is it
will close once we have to hit these specific milestones? So once I hit 600 YouTube subs, once I hit 1,200 Instagram followers, and 150 iTunes reviews. Once all three of those worlds collide, then that following Saturday we will go live and start giving things away every 5 minutes. Literally every 5 minutes, and it's going to be an open invite for the panelists. So, if you guys want to come on, say what's up, and we'll just talk and start giving stuff. Help me start giving stuff away. It'll be fun.
Sweet. And Paul.
Hey, I'm from coupleofdudes.com for all your comic book speculation needs, and our podcast Monday nights, Tales from the Flip Side. We talk about stuff you can find at Comic Cons and flea markets and things to make an extra buck, as well as just shooting the breeze about what's going on and our pickups for nerdy stuff and just whatever. So come hang out with us, and looking forward to the live chat.
Sweet. Well, hey, thank you both. And I'm Jackson. Obviously, boredandannoyed.com is where you can find our podcast. We discuss movies on a weekly basis. Home, my co-host, was actually down with a bout of a cough. What do you call that damn
coronavirus?
Bronchitis. No, he doesn't have the coronavirus. But yes, he had bronchitis. So we didn't record this week. I think the latest one we recorded was on Birds of Prey. So if you want to hear what we thought of Birds of Prey, go check it out, and make sure you subscribe to our show. Firstly on YouTube, because I want to start getting some more people in here. But obviously you can subscribe, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes. It's crazy, but 80% of all podcasts are
get him on here too, man.
Yeah, I know. Home, if you're watching the replay of this, we expect you on the show at some point. Otherwise, we'll turn it into a continuing story.
Yeah.
I was saying the other week we ended it with Werner Herzog showing up, and something happened, like Home got injured or something. So I was saying he should have made an appearance with like bandages or something,
like a mummy.
Right. Yes. But yeah, that's it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining, and stay metal, and enjoy Stargate. Go watch Stargate before next weekend.
Perfect.
Have a good one, guys.
Take care. Thanks.